Good morning, it's Wednesday 24th, up and ready. I think I'm going to head off for some breakfast at Blondie's, and then final decision is locked in. I'm playing the Mystery Millions today at WSOP, and I'm going to put myself in contention to win my first bracelet. Got a dream, right? So reflecting on yesterday and the Orleans, I think to go down to half stack after midway through level 2 and to last as long as I did and finish 7 out of the money, it showed a lot of resilience, and you can't play that deep and last that long unless you're generally making good decisions, I don't think. And I made some very good decisions. You saw the Queens v Aces hand yesterday. What I didn't document was I also had Jacks against 2 opponents, and got a Jack on the flop, and ended up folding on the river in a very disciplined fold with a set of Jacks. And the reason I folded was because there was a flush draw and a straight draw out there, and I just thought the guy had quite cleverly disguised his hand, and I was just convinced that he'd either hit the flush or the straight. And so I folded a set of Jacks, and I showed him and told him what I'd folded, and he went, "How the hell did you fold that there?" And I said, "Well, because I thought you got the flush or the straight," and he said, "Yeah, I had the straight." So that was another good decision, and I think you have to make good decisions, and you have to be willing to trust your instincts a little bit. And you won't always get it right, but you've got to try to put yourself in the best position, I think. So I was really pleased with how I played, really pleased with some good calls I made, and how long I lasted. I picked my spots well to get it in, to try and double up and survive for a long time. You saw I was behind with the ace-10 against the 10s, but won that flip. But I think the other all-ins I was ahead. So okay, happy about yesterday. Decision making was good. Resilience was good. Put myself into lots of good positions. So I'm confident going into today. So I'm going to head off for some breakfast, and then we'll get registered for today's event at WSOP. That's it for now. Okay, today's t-shirt update, because I know you're all fascinated. So we've gone for retro Star Wars, Millennium Falcon, Star Wars best film franchise ever, Han Solo, one of the best characters ever, and see what flies in. So always love Star Wars, anything to do with it, I'm all over it. So I'm feeling good, feeling as though I'm channeling my inner roguish Han Solo today, and that's going to bring me good luck. Okay, we're having microphone problems again, so we're going to have to try and sort something out. So apologies for the sound quality. Just to update, playing the Mystery Millions, day 1B, started at 40,000, just got the first break, and it's going not very well at all. I've lost 2 major hands. First one with ace-6 at clubs with the nut flush draw on a 4-club board. Draw into the last club. Lost 17,500 on that one. And then the last hand before the break, Queens v Kings, lost that one as well. So I've got 7,200, which is probably just a little over 10, 12 big blinds, something like that. So not going as I'd hoped for, but I've still got chips, I've still got a chance. So we're just going to have to try and spin it up, pick a moment, pick a spot, get it all in, and just be comfortable with the fact of whatever the outcome is, that I made the right choice. Take it from there. Okay, I'm going to try and keep this as brief as possible. Sorry for the close-up, I've got no mic, it's busted. That was a hell of a different session. So at the end of that session, we had 7,200. this session, I've got 106,000. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I know I can do. It might seem a little bit down, but I was a bit frustrated, that's all. I said last night at the audience that I felt good, and I was either going to take someone playing it really, really well, or bad beat. And I stand by that even more today. I don't often big myself up very much, but I am playing great poker. I am picking my spot. First hand back up, so second hand back up to break. Jack 6, clubs on the big blind. It was min raised to me. I just called, hit Jack and 2 clubs. Top pair and flush draw. Guy bets 4,000, I jam. He calls, he's got ace-7. Ace king of clubs, so I don't really hit the club draw, but it runs out clean on a double up to 13k. And then from there I've got a massive pot with ace jack, another massive pot against that with the queen jack. Guy flopped to 7 nines. I kept in there and hit a 10 on over flush straight. And he checked to me on the river. I bet 25k, which was about 80% of my stack at the time, and he called me off with a set. That was nice. And then after that, ace 6 of hearts. Lines were 612 as well. It was raised under the gun this one. It's 3,000 was out from mid position. I called. It was offsuit ace and 2 hearts, so again I fought top pair and flush draw. The turn gave me an 8 of hearts for the flush draw. Guy bet into me 6,000. So I just called and let him bet again, and my river, he bet 12,000, I raised it to 40, and he looked furious with himself and folded. So a break, I'm comfortably chipping on my table, 106,000, and now I've got chips, they should be dangerous because I'm playing really, really well. And I don't always feel this confident, but today it just feels like I belong here. I'm meant to be here. So sorry for ruffling a bit. I'll get back in a second, but yeah, going really, really well. I'm just going to keep it going until the next one. Okay, that was very frustrating. So I started the level at 120, I was in 106 I think it was, got it up to 120, and now I'm down at 53. A couple of reasons, mainly playing from the big blind. I've got ace queen suited, guy min raise I called, flop comes, I've got queen 4, flop comes queen jack 4. He was in the small blind, he bets 10k, I call, so I raised to 20k, he jammed on me for 50k, I called, he got queen jack, so he got better 2 pair and he held. Then shortly after that, I got pocket 10s, there was a raise, a jam from the small stack, a jam from a bigger stack but still less than me, had to fold, and then a third player jammed as well. The first guy had 10s, the second guy had 9s, the third guy had aces, the aces hold, so that was a good fold. Lost with ace 3 on a flop of ace 2-5, sorry, ace 2-5, so I've got a gut shot, a top pair. I think he was first to act, I think. He bet 10, I called. The turn was irrelevant. He bet 25. It just fell off, so I just showed him the one ace that I'd got and folded, and he showed me pocket aces. So that was another. I avoided stacking that off. Been really good at protecting what I've got. I haven't really made any mistakes this level, but everything I've just tried to go for has not come off. The positive is I'm still in. I've got about, I think we're going back to blinds of 2k, 4k, so I've got about 12, 13 big blinds, which is still a decent stack to get it in with. So I'm just going to pick a spot, pick my moment, wait for it, and then yeah, just hope that my patience pays and that the poker gods turn back in my favour this time. So nothing really I can do. I've just got to keep hanging in there and keep trying again until the next time. Okay, we're back at the hotel because with no microphone and really noisy casinos, it's easier to just update everything on here. So as we're here, we're obviously bust out. Finished about 845th out of just under 2,200, just under 2,300 people. So just over a third of the field remaining when I went out. Interestingly, I just looked, and in the last half an hour since I went out, about another 200 odd people have gone out as well. So they're all falling fast now. There must have been a lot of short chips stacks left. What can I say about today? Well, let's start with the bust out hand. Started the hand with 45,000 on the big blind with Queen 3 offsuit. It wasn't raised to me, 2 people in the hand. So I just check. The flop comes Queen 2-4, similar story. The lady, I check, the lady bets out for 10,000. I call. The turn comes Jack. I check again. She bets 10,000 again. I call. River's a 2, so it pays the board. So now I've got queens and 2s, and there's a jack on the board, so queens and 2s with a jack kicker. I think it's likely she's got a queen, but I've got less than 20,000 behind now. She puts a 25k chip in. I chose to make the call. I said, you've got a queen, and she went, of course I've got a queen. And she had queen king, so her king played as the kicker, and that was the end of it. Am I proud of today? Overall, yes. To get down to 7,200 at the end of level 4, and then to get it up to 106,000 by level 8, and then up even more than I think level 9 and 10 to 120,000, and then there just came several hands quickly in succession where I just got rinsed. Yeah, I'm not going to go into them. There's no need. I just played them as I should do. I've hit something, got good hands, outdrawn on the turn and the river, and just had to fold my hands. Pretty much like the pocket 10s on the 3-way all in. I just folded those because there was no point playing them. But I think the biggest disappointment today was being the amount of times where I've been on the big blind with Queen X and the X is rubbish and nobody's raised, so I can't fold my hand. So I have to then see the flop, and I hit something on the flop, like an open ender or 2 pair with the Queen 4 hand. And then you don't want to be playing that hand, but because you've hit something, you sort of need to, work with it and try to win the hand. Because if you just think, oh, I've hit something and someone bets and you just give up straight away,
that's not the right way to play it. You've got to try and manufacture a story so that even if you haven't got something that you're winning with, you can make the other person believe that you have. But most of the times today, that didn't work out. Probably 3 or 4 hands that I lost with Queen X, and if I'd had my choice, I wasn't on the big blind, I would have just folded them. So I think that is something I need to look at for future. But overall, to come back how I did and play how I did, I lasted over 12 levels. I know it's 22 levels to go through, but I know from day one yesterday only 70 odd people went through to day 2 out of over 2,000 people again. So lasting the 22 levels is a real grinding battle. So I can't be too disappointed. I've made some really good decisions. I've made a couple of marginal ones. I'm just being honest with myself. So I'll sort of reassess things. I'll pick myself up and I'll decide what tournament I'm entering tomorrow, and then I'll go again from there. So, you know, nothing really major, just a little bit disappointing, but I'll come back.